Hey everyone, it's Destiny, and today's video I'll be talking about a very vulnerable and personal subject. I'll be talking about why I quit my corporate job and why I decided to make a career switch and also just take a gap year. I really just want to share my experience, to get on the internet and be real and talk about post-grad life in a very genuine way. Not everyone has it figured out after college, and that's completely okay. During my time in college, I felt like I had to have everything planned out and have my career right in front of me when I graduated. So that is why I'm here, to just really lay it out on the table and talk about taking unconventional paths after graduation. To begin with, I'll talk about my background. So I graduated from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo with a major in business information systems, which is the technology route within the business degree. Fun fact, actually, I wanted to major in marketing, but as a business major, you take the intro classes to all of the majors that you can go into within business. Naturally, I just love networking. I love marketing and everything, but my first intro class to marketing, I didn't really like. And then right after marketing, I took my information systems class, which had to do with coding and everything. And I had a lot of fun, and that's what made me switch to information systems. But turns out your major is actually pretty different from the positions that you go into after graduation. And I didn't realize that with technology, that although I liked coding and I liked technology, I wouldn't really like that as a job. So fast forward to graduation, I landed my first full-time job as a technology consultant at a big accounting firm. The accounting firm that I worked for wasn't part of the Big Four. They were actually the fifth accounting firm right underneath KPMG. So the pressure is still there. The consulting lifestyle is still there. During my senior year of college, I applied to a lot of jobs, but as I was applying, I realized that there wasn't a lot of positions that I really wanted to apply to within the technology industry for business. But since that was my major, I was trying really hard to find something that I liked. But at the end of the day, I accepted my job as a consultant because I realized and I knew that being a consultant was a very well-rounded position. And even though it wasn't my dream position, I knew that I would be learning a lot of things, whether it be transferable skills or not. I knew that my first job out of college was still going to be valuable for me. Now going on to me deciding to leave the corporate world. Technology consulting wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy the work I did. My coworkers were amazing, my managers were amazing. The firm really took care of their employees, but I didn't enjoy the technology consulting lifestyle, and I didn't like working in the accounting industry. And also the work that I did, it just wasn't fulfilling because it's not something that I wanted to do. On the side, I would work on my social media and work on my personal blog, and also during COVID, I started researching more about starting my fashion brand, and I realized that I was staying up super late at night, putting a lot of energy into these side projects that I really wanted to see how it would be if I took it full time or put all of my energy into it. And there would be days where I just didn't want to go to work at all because I wanted to work on my side projects more. And so that's when I knew that I needed to quit my corporate job. I also wanted to take some time off to myself because during college, I was constantly working. Like if I wasn't working, I was a student, and every summer I would also work because I needed to make money to pay for my rent and everything. So I never really had a lot of time off to myself completely. And after graduation, I only had 3 weeks to myself, and then I flew out to Colorado for 3 months for training and then started my full-time. So I never really knew how it felt to have free time to myself. And right now, I don't have a lot of risks. So that's why I decided to just quit my job and take a gap year. So that was my mentality when quitting. It's a lot to unpack in one video and lay out on the table in one video, but I'm trying my best to go through everything. So leaving the corporate world was scary, but it's just like ripping off a band-aid. Once you rip it off, you feel completely free and glad that you did it. Well, at least for me, I'm talking for myself, but I just really want to emphasize that it's okay to quit your first job. Like, there's always jobs out there. And I think what solidified that as well is right after I quit my job, the Big Four actually reached out to me for an interview. So right off the bat, I knew that when I had that recruiter reaching out to me, I knew that I was going to be okay if my gap year didn't go as planned. I could always go back to the corporate world if I wanted to. I feel like I've been rambling and kind of going off tangents as I talk, but now I want to go on to the questions that I asked myself when I was deciding to quit. So these are some questions that could also help you if you're on the same boat. The first question is, am I willing to seek other solutions within my position or the company? For me, I looked up other positions within my company, and I just didn't want to work in the accounting firm. I meant in the accounting industry in general. So that's why I moved on to my next question, which is, do I have a passion stronger than the position I'm in right now? So since I was working on my personal brand on the side, which is my social media and my personal blog, but I was also working on my fashion brand on the side. So those passions were definitely stronger than the position that I was in at the accounting firm. And that's also something that helped me move on with my decision of quitting. The next question is probably one of the most important questions. So how high is my risk? After laying out all of my risks on the table, there wasn't any significant risks that were really stopping me from quitting my job. I'm living at home. I paid off all of my student debt. I am super young. I don't have any kids, and really just, there was no reason for me to say that I had any risk other than being financially stable, but I knew that I could figure that out elsewhere. So if you're in this position, I really think it's a good thing to take your own risk assessment and see what your trade-offs are, what you're willing to trade off. For me, I was willing to quit and take a part-time job if I needed the income. And then the last question was, am I happy? And during those times and those months that I was debating with myself, I was truly unhappy with the position that I was in. I just could imagine myself in a different position doing different things. It came to a point where I was constantly complaining to my family members and just waking up unhappy, not wanting to work and everything. And I was really good at my job. I wasn't a horrible employee. Like, I was actually a really good employee, and I did my job very well. Your happiness is really important, and you have it in your control. Or at least for me, I knew that within my situation, I had control of everything. I had control to make the decision that would make me happier, and I really just had to lay everything out on the table and figure out what the best thing to do for me was. And that's why I'm here. That's why I am officially self-employed, unemployed, whatever you want to call it. I like calling it self-employed because it makes me feel better. It puts me in a different mentality. Our lives change so quickly, and it's constantly changing, so who knows where I will be. But that is just how I'm feeling right now. I really hope that this video helped anyone who's in the same position as me or who was debating about quitting. Just, I hope that this helped you in some way, and I really just want to get on here to relate to others online and tell you that it's okay to not have everything figured out. You'll get through it. You are smart enough to assess your situations and make the best decision for you. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and look out for more content about navigating your 20s, post-grad life, and fashion and beauty. So peace out, bean sprouts.